American Film My Phone and welcome to another video. Today we are getting back into Urias with her debut album FÚRIA. We listened to part 1 last month and we enjoyed parts of it. Cadela is definitely my favorite of the songs from it, but I think all of them deserve some more listens than I've been able to really get to since December does take me by storm. So I'm excited to see how all these songs fit into the larger project, as well as listen to all the new songs that we have. There's 13 songs total. I'm gonna breeze past through the 5 that we listened to before. I will listen to them within the context of the album, but I'm not gonna explain it to you. You've already seen that video. And so we're going to hear what the new songs are more so and talk about them a little bit more too. Also, we're in a new setup because I just moved into my apartment for the semester, so hope you enjoy the set. It's pretty sparse right now, but we're gonna make it work. Let's not waste any more time. Thank you for requesting this video, and anyway, let's get into it. Track number 1 is Intro. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, I heard some drum hits there. I'm about to become a horrible person? Urias. Even though I never thought it was good. Oh, seems like a ticking time bomb. When's it gonna explode? Oh, that's it. So that was Intro, and surprisingly it was all in English, which I'll personally take. All she says in it is, I'm about to become a horrible person even though I never thought I was good. And that is a tone setter. You know, like, she's putting on this feeling of being like this bad girl, this horrible person, and she's going to become the villain in this story, I guess. But we'll see. I guess some of the songs before kind of alluded to that, but I'm excited to see how it actually turns out with the rest of the new songs for added context. Sonically, I really enjoyed it. I liked the drums in it. I like that beeping. It seems like it really is just trying to lead into our next song, and so I'm excited that first of all we got that smooth transition. That's always nice, and I'm excited to see how it turns out within the rest of the album. But it definitely does set a good tone, and it's not a song I would skip, but I'm not going to listen to it on its own because it really is the intro. Track number 2 is Pode Mandar featuring Vírus. It looks like virus, but with an accent on the I, so I'm trying my best there. Okay, yes, continuing the beeping. Yes, we're turning into a slow trap beat. Wait, this cadence sounds a little like Belladonna from Ava Max, of all people? Yeah, I think this is something that sounds really good, and headphones are like a really bombastic speaker. Is this Vírus or is this Urias just using a different tone? Okay, it's building. We're getting those percussive hits. Ah. Okay, no, this must be Vírus. This sounds completely different. Ooh. Yes, that's satisfying. So that was Pode Mandar, and that was a good song. I enjoyed it. It's normally not my sonic style to go into the more hip-hop, trap sounding stuff. I'm sure there are some more Brazilian based genres that are in there that I can't tell because I'm not Brazilian. But like, to me it sounds a lot like hip-hop and trap. I like the lyrics though. Urias is talking about how she wants it all and she wants it now as the general theme, and how basically her past, and there's organized violence back there, probably against being trans and being in the community, which Brazil has not always been the most friendly towards. And so I think she's talking a lot about that. I think she's talking about just her anger and fury that she's dealt with. Again, presenting that revenge narrative, or it's time for me to become the horrible person. Like, let's go and do that. So that's interesting. It's definitely a good setup. Vírus did what Vírus did. I liked the line that translates to, with my past I present you the future, which I think is cool to put all the tenses in there. and thinking of giving my all, because I'm never gonna give half. Can't do that. And so I liked that. I like their collaboration. I think it works well together. It does to me seem like a Brazilian hip hop song is what I would classify it as, which is not necessarily the genre I would lean towards, but it's something for me to chew on a bit. Track number 3 is Racha, a song we've heard. Let's hear it within the context of the album. Yeah, this definitely fits with Pode Mandar. I love how she says Racha. Ratata. Oh, there's just so much I forget. Yeah. Classic. Yeah, it seems like Urias is featuring on her own song. Oh, yes, I forgot this whole switch up happened. This song definitely got lost into Stormbird. Yeah, oh yeah, and I remember that ending. So that was Racha. It is Racha. I need to remember that CHs are sh in Brazilian Portuguese. But yeah, so that was Racha, and I thought it fit. It had a little bit more experimentalness to it that I think makes it less of just a hip-hop, trap-sounding song. And yeah, I liked it. I also liked someone in my comments on my part 1 video, I'll put the comment up here, but they said that each single was represented by an animal, and this one in particular was represented by a tarantula, and that there was also an operation, either Operation Racha in particular or the tarantula itself was an operation against trans individuals in Brazil. So that was really interesting, and I think it seems that trans and being that identity is a very essential and integral in Urias's identity and what she's really working with on this album. And so I thought that was a really interesting tidbit. I thought Racha was fun, and I need to listen to it some more because I really did enjoy it on my second listen. Well, second listen with y'all. I did listen to it multiple times on part 1, and I don't remember how I forgot it. I must have just not been paying as much attention as I should have. Track number 4 is Foi Mal, which does directly follow Racha in part 1 as well. So it did have a cool transition. And so yeah, I've heard this song before too, but let's hear it within the context of the album. I'm surprised that this is so early in the album. It does feel like a closer sound. Her voice does feel a little more natural in this mix. I don't know, maybe I've just gotten used to it more. Foi Mal. Foi Mal. Satisfying ending. Wouldn't you agree? So that was Foi Mal, and again, a song I've heard, and a song I enjoy. For some reason, in my head, the vocals didn't seem like as connected to the song, but now they do feel a lot more normal. I don't know, maybe that's the mood I was feeling when I was listening to it before, or maybe I'm just in a better mood now and just have gotten more acquainted with hearing the songs from part 1 more, as well as hearing the new songs here today. This song again is all about the relationship between her and another person being her fault and not allowing this person to love her. And so I thought it was very impactful, and also I think it's interesting that by track 4 she's already apologizing for being bad. So interesting how we move on, even though Cadela is later, and I think Cadela was pretty much just like, yeah, I'm that. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see how the story continues with probably mainly new songs in particular. Track number 5 is Aposta. Okay, starting pretty chill. Piano. How do you feel? Oh, was that like a phone ding? Oh, I like how she will cut herself off. It's satisfying in a way. she say, girl, you're tripping? Like, what? It changes between like slowing R&B, but like also then some speed up, almost K-pop style stuff. Yeah, like this is like we moving. Ooh, I like this crashing sounds. This is getting me hype. Oh wait, that's the end already? So that was Aposta, and Urias did a full 180. Crazy. Yeah, because this song is about this man who thinks he's all that. He's not. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so Urias is telling us some actual truth right now, because she's saying this man doesn't know where to like, he doesn't know his way around a person in a sensual way. I think that's how much I can say about that. He also thinks that he's on the level where he can get a photo, that he has always wanted to be with a pop star, and he'll definitely get there for sure, for sure. And yeah, he's really delusional. You're the only one who didn't realize you were being an imbecile. I love that line in particular. Most of the stuff is in Portuguese, but the translation is super savage, and I bet, knowing Urias' personality as much as I do through these songs, she meant most of that. Also, I like the girl, he trippin', like what, like, I love that. Classic. I love how her English just gets put in there in like ways that it's funny or making sure we're on the right track of what the song is about. I think the intro helping us with that, and then this in particular, I think most of the song can really be summed up to, girl, he trippin'. Like what? Yeah. Sonically, I like it. I like how it goes through all these different genres. It's definitely a blend. Urias is showing that she can be both a pop star and definitely not your average pop star. There's a good mix in there. It gets me hype, and I'm very excited to hear the song again, especially in headphones. Track number 6 is Cadela, a song we've heard, and a song we really enjoyed. I put it on my last semester's playlist, and it goes hard. Yeah, let's get into it, yeah. Hey, hey. This makes me want to like wobble. I'm a Cadela. Rough, rough, rough. I love her enunciation of the commands. Ah, yes, the breakdown. It's always good. So that was Cadela. Already a classic. Love it. Glad we heard it first. Glad we get to hear it again. I love the theme of it just being all about dogs, and specifically being, you know, that female one. Yeah, I thought it's a fun song. I really especially love the enunciation of all the commands. I think I said that in the middle of the song, but like the call, like I just love, like, I don't know, it's very guttural, like in the throat, and it just sounds so satisfying. It's a smooth bop. Aposta goes all over the place, and then Cadela is still not giving us a break in terms of it being really good, but it is a little like smoother, and you can just like groove to it, where Aposta's like, you're like, ah. You understand what I mean? Anyway, it's super satisfying, and it gets us excited for the next song. Based on the title, I'm going to assume it's also going to be fun. And that title is Explícito, or track number 7, featuring Hodari. I don't know them personally. Okay. Sounds almost like guitar to start off. Ooh, there's like a swelling. Oh, that's an interesting percussive hit. It doesn't feel like it's on beat, or either Urias' lyrics might not be on beat. This is not in 4/4, is it? It feels like in some other land. This seems like she's trying to continue what Foi Mal is in a way. Okay, I think I found the groove. It took me a minute, but I think I found it. Oh, this must be Hodari, or however you pronounce their name. I like their voice. It's very smooth. Oh, I think I heard Hodari. It's some background whispers. Ooh, they're duetting now. Oh, at the end. So that was Explícito, and it's about something explicit. That's normally what I will say, that or intimate, to describe basically what the song is about. That's what I normally do with a lot of other songs that are about similar subject matter, but they're saying, I want something explicit. That's quite literally the lyric. And so that's interesting for me to be able to literally tell you. Urias wants something illicit. They're not looking for a friend. She's looking for someone to touch, and she keeps cutting herself off. We'll just say that. Yeah, she said that she's had a lot of loves that have broken her heart, and so I think she's looking for something that's a little more casual. And Hodari is acting as that person who can fill that void, potentially. Maybe not even fill the void particularly, but get her mind off of it. It's not necessarily the bop that Aposta and Cadela was, but it's more of the jam that I can see it happening to be. It sounded good. I was a little bit not in the groove for the beginning of it, but I started to vibe with it as it went along, so I think I will be able to enjoy it with more listens. Track number 8 is Interlude. It's rather short because it's just an interlude, so let's see how it goes. Okay, this spoken part is not in English. Oh, we're getting like a whole lecture. It's not 2 sentences. Oh, now we got some instrumental. Oh, it's the new song. So that was an interlude, and it's just spoken. There's not really any instrumentation. Intro had the production that allowed it to go into Pode Mandar, I think is the name of that second song. It's been a minute. But yes, this is just spoken, so I'm probably not going to listen to it like on its own because it's a spoken word and I don't listen to podcasts much at all. But the words in it, she is saying some real truth. She's really speaking her truth. And she is talking about that she is very motivated to do well in her stuff, but she gets frustrated and angry sometimes because if the cat, per se, I think it just means like the woman musician, is cis or white, she is always going to be more successful, and she is going to put in a lot less work to get there, if that makes sense. Urias is talking about how there's people who have a lot of money and they can put it into doing some very mediocre work. And she's like, I don't like that. And that gets her very frustrated oftentimes. And I can see how that can be very frustrating. Like, even me just looking at different artists, it seems there are people who put in a lot more work than other people, and they don't get as much success, and they're not nearly as popular. It's racism, it's pretty privilege, it's transphobia, homophobia, all those isms and phobias that really create a hierarchy within music in particular, but also just general ways of being successful and making a career that is driven on how much people know you and how much you show up to the task. Most of the people I can think of today who are amazing, like the best performers that I think of when I immediately think of it, is people of color, queer people, a lot of people who aren't necessarily seeing as much success from that talent that they really have. It's rather unfortunate that as an industry, it falls prey to the problems that are within our entire society. I hope that not only are those problems in the entire society remedied, but especially within this music industry, because Urias has the right to be frustrated. She's dealt with a lot of problems within the industry most likely because of being trans and not being white. And it's time that there are some reparations for that. It also gets me excited to see what happens next in this album because it's an interlude, so I want to know how she follows it up with the music, how she shows up to the task. But it also gets me excited for in the future to look at some of her music videos because I bet she probably is crushing those as well. Track number 9 is Classic featuring Mone, I think. Don't know. Yeah, girl, for sure. Oh, she is being multilingual here. Yeah, I like this beat. It does feel really fun. Classic, fantastic. Is this Urias or is Charm? I guess we'll know by the end of the song. You wanna be so classic just like me? I'm a Fenty girl. A fancy girl and a Fendi girl. Okay, this is Charm. Oh shoot, it might be a Charm if it's Brazilian. No plastic? Magic. Oh. That irked me. So that was Classic. And it was classic. I enjoyed this song. It was multilingual, which we love. And it was very much a sense of I'm going to brag about wealth and being an icon. I like that. I like that type of song. It's fun. Yeah, it's just really fun. She name drops a bunch of brands that I guess she's worked with or can afford. And I thought it was cool. She went from Fenty to Fancy to Fendi. I did notice that on my original listen. And then she dropped some other different brands, which I can tell are luxury brands because I'm a big fan of Rina Sawayama, and Comme des Garçons really helped me with that. My favorite line in the song is, "What you do in a day, I'll only do in the morning," which I think is iconic. I consider myself a really productive person, and I think I need that line for it to be a little more relevant to me. I also like the line, "I don't need a trend to be relevant," which I think is probably a diss to someone else. Don't know who it is, but it seems like she is roasting someone at least. I think just also the type of celebrity or musician in particular who will make a song just to hop on a trend and didn't come up with an original idea. Whereas FÚRIA, in my opinion, does seem a little more creative, a little more original. Yes, are there elements of stuff I've heard before from other artists? Yes, but the genre fusion on it is immaculate and I'm really vibing with it so far. Mone or Mone, sorry, don't know who you are, but your verse sounded cool and I liked it. I am intrigued to see if I'll hear more of that artist in the future, but it was cool for now. One more thing is that I also liked the chorus being like that, but fantastic, and there's no plastic in it, which I think is so funny. It reminds me a little bit of when there was the Say So remix and the Savage remix with Beyonce and Nicki Minaj respectively. Not respectively, actually, reverse those. But about the real but, and then Nicki Minaj saying that real but won't keep your man home, which I don't think those are disses towards each other. I think those are about different people. But yeah, I thought that was funny that I just got transported back to early 2020 when that was what everyone was talking about because he had nothing else to talk about because we were in lockdown. I'm glad to see that the debate on whether a butt needs plastic or not is still very much alive, I guess. I don't know. Track number 10 is Peligrosa, a song we've heard and a song I remember enjoying, so let's hear it again within the context of the album. Yeah, this is another song like Cadela that gets you into the groove. A peligro. Soy Peligrosa. Oh yeah, this is in Spanish, so yeah. She is at least a trilingual queen. Yes, we love a good fast run moment. Quiero bailar. Oh wait, that is a very quick ending. So that was Peligrosa. That was a really fun song. I still really enjoy it from the last time I heard it, but it was very enjoyable. Yeah. It was fun. I had fun with it. I don't have much else to say. I like all the twists and turns within it. I think, if I remember right, the Latina part is I didn't ask to be born Latina, so that kind of goes back with the interlude of being like, if you're white, you're more likely to be successful, or you can put in less work to get to the same progress and level of success that people of color can, which I agree with that statement. And so it's interesting, like, because now I'm thinking, if Urias was a white artist, like, would she be more successful? Probably. But at the same time, I don't think she'd be making the same type of art that she is making now. Track number 11 is Tudo Meu. Okay, that's got a thick beat. Oh, there's like a lot of different like elements coming in. I think Urias wants me to dance right now. I want to dance. I guess as she said last time, quiero bailar. I like this filtering in her voice. It makes the song very distinct from the rest of her discography. Tudo Meu. She's repeating the title of the song. Oh, I like it. It feels like if Look What You Made Me Do from Taylor Swift was more elevated and more complex. Tudo Meu. Tudo Meu. Oh, is this the outro of sorts? Oh, no, we did get some more instrumentation before we go. Oh, that is a more distinct ending. I like that versus the Peligrosa ending. So that was Tudo Meu, and this is a song to again hype us up. It has this perfect dance, like club sound that I just want to like get down and like we're going, we're having a good time, we are vibing. And I think that's what the song is about. It's, again, a song that kind of hypes Urias up. That you really can't keep up with her, that people wish they could be her, but it's all hers. It's all mine, is the translation. So I thought this was a fun song. She does do trilingualisms, I think, in his. She at least does both Spanish and Portuguese, because there was stuff that didn't translate in the lyric translation. So yeah, I thought it was cool, and I also think it's really like cool that she knows so many languages. It's not something I'm fluent in, and so it's something for me to aspire to do better. But the song itself is also just a bop, and she says at the beginning that I'll be so many, and she kind of repeats that theme a bunch about how she'll be so many. And what I think that means is that she can be not just a pop star, not just a rapper. She can be all these different things. And I think this debut album is really showing. There's a lot of directions that she really could go with her career if she wanted to hone it into something very specific. But right now she's leaving so many options open. And I bet really is that she can do even more than just what she's showing on her debut. I think we're gonna see a lot of really cool things coming from her. Track number 12 is Maserati featuring Monna and Ebony, a song that we've heard before as the last one from part 1, and I'm excited to hear it again in the context of the album. Oh, it does this. I forgot this song. Yeah, this does feel, again, much more like the hip-hop trap vibe. Yeah, bring it back. Mama. Oh yeah, it does this. It gets so chaotic. Yeah, it's Ebony. Oh, yeah, that's not the ending. So it was Maserati. Again, if I remember right, just check also my FÚRIA part 1. For it's been a minute since I've heard these songs. But Maserati is very much that braggadocious, like I am that person, and it's 3 people doing that. Monna Brutal kind of actually sounds a little like Urias, but just spits faster. Almost like a mix of Urias and Gloria Groove, I would say, actually. Yeah, I think that would be the best way to say it, because just vocally, like, that's the timbre of their voice. The song I actually like a lot more in context. I think I was more confused, and there is some chaotic moments in this song, don't get me wrong. But I think after hearing like Tudo Meu and Classic and these songs that are a little more braggadocious, but not having the whole album sound like that, I think it makes more sense in context. And I think it's interesting that we had that FÚRIA Part 1 not be in order. They still work together in that order, but I think they work a lot better in the order that we're currently going in. But with that, our last song is here, and that is Tanto Faz. I think this was also ended up being released with a music video, so maybe I'll check that out soon enough. Oh, we're slow. This sounds like fruit roll-ups from water parks. I'm having some interesting references today. It's interesting. Urias going into ballads. I don't know how to feel. Tanto Faz. Oh, that feels like a happier than ever switch up. Oh, was that a howl? Oh yeah, the drums definitely got more intense here. I didn't expect it to get quiet again. Yeah, this beat now, it feels almost like a metronome, but like a little bubblier. Yeah, there's the howl. That's definitely intentional. Girl, you need to stop with these outros that don't exist. So it was Tanto Faz, which means whatever. It's very interesting. This song is a sad song about being lonely and wanting to touch someone, and that person doesn't really notice her. And so that's just very interesting. I guess it's the not feeling desirable, not feeling wanted, maybe being that mix of within the celebrity being that non-white, non-cis person who then has to deal with these additional challenges to be considered pretty and beautiful and worthy of love, which she's definitely worthy of love. Everyone, if you're watching this, you're worthy of love. And even if you didn't see this, you're worthy of love. Unless you're a really just horrible person, then please don't. But chances are you're not a bad person. This song was very interesting. I definitely felt like it had influences elsewhere. Not necessarily intentionally, but I was hearing both the Water Parks, Fruit Roll-Ups, and Happier Than Ever from Billie Eilish, which I just love that I'm able to find connections with artists that aren't even from this area, that like she really is pulling in genres and aspects that are not just very regionalized. I mean, a lot of the themes and some of the styles are going to be very regional, but I like that she's also making it something that even I can find relatable or connected to something else that I'm more familiar with. But this song, again, is sad, and it's very interesting. I think it's sad, but she has a certain way of going about her more sad songs. Like this song and Foi Mal are probably the two sad songs on the album. And Foi Mal, after singing, she just does a spoken word, my bad, basically. And this is, I cry too much and whatever. So it seems like when she's sad, she tries not to let it get to her and like plays it cool and tries to make it not seem like a big deal. Like, whatever, I'm just crying or whatever. No, like, don't worry. Like, yeah, you know, like she's shrugging it off as something that we shouldn't worry about, but it seems like she's actually sad. So it's interesting to end like that. I think it's interesting that a lot of that fury really stems from sadness and wanting to be loved and wanting to be desired. It kind of reminds me actually of what someone said when I was talking about Demi Lovato's song, The Way You Don't Look at Me, which was not what I thought it was about. It has a lot to do with like actually an ED and talking about like all the things I've overcome, and you just don't notice me because I guess I'm not considered beautiful in your eyes. And so all the stuff that Urias has overcome, she's still going to feel fragile when someone she's interested in romantically or intimately is not really seeing her as that. Yeah, it's a sad way to end the album. I hope she's doing all right. I also don't know how confessional these songs are, but she also ends with the I'm a lone wolf. So she's definitely embracing, again, the different animal qualities that, again, I guess she was trying to embody within this album. With that, we have finished this album, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I had a good time. Like, the EP, I think Urias has a very distinct singing style, and those songs, I think, portrayed a much different version. I think having it be more fleshed out in a 30-minute body of work versus like a 12-minute body of work is very beneficial. It made me excited to actually listen to it. As I started in, I kept getting more and more interested in seeing what was happening next, rather than after just the 5 songs. I like those 5 songs, but I think there's some better songs on here probably, as well as they fit better here. I think it's interesting for me that Urias is really one of the few Brazilian artists who I've only heard and not watched, and I hope to remedy that in the coming future. But on the flip side, we have Pablo Vittar and Gloria Groove, artists from Brazil, who, whenever I was listening to their work, I always pretty much watched what was happening at the same time or in the same like vicinity. And so I think it'll be interesting to really get to know Urias more. All I have visually is just the album cover. That's all I've really seen of her. So I think it'll be very interesting. I'll probably do a video where I combine a bunch of the music videos for songs from this album and combine that into like one big reaction. I think that'll be fun, and I think it will help me get to know her a little bit better. So if you're interested, please let me know. I think this album is very cool in that she has so many different directions that she could go. She could make a whole album that's rap. She could make a whole album that's pop. She could make a whole album that's a lot of different niche styles that I'm not that familiar with. She could do stuff that's all collabs. She could do stuff that's no collabs. I think her collabs here are great. Like, I don't dislike any of the collabs, but I think she ends up sometimes being stronger when it's not a collaborator. I think she can, when it's just her voice in it, I think she really has a very strong like perspective, and I like seeing that shine through and not having to get pushed by another artist. Though I did like all the features on here, and I think I would be interested in checking them out as well. Altogether, it was a lovely album. I had a good time listening to it, and I hope you all enjoyed my reaction. With that said, here are some of my favorites of the top tier, the songs that I love, those songs that are standouts, the ones I'll play over and over. Songs in the middle are songs I like. I'll add them to my playlist, but they may not be the top of the top. And the songs at the bottom are just not really my thing. Doesn't mean they're a bad song. Doesn't mean they can't be your favorite. That just means they're not for me, and that's okay. Urias did not make this album with me in mind. What did you think of the album? Did you like it? Did you not? Why or why not? Please let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, please like it, comment down below, show me to react to next. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be, and thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles, it's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile big, open your eyes.